What's up, welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Queer, the new romantic drama film from Luca Guadagnino, starring Daniel Craig and Drew Starkey. This is the second film from Luca this year. Of course, Challengers came out in the spring after being strike delayed, so this was not planned all along. Nonetheless, we're back. Luca also working with this Challengers screenwriter once again, Jason Karitzkis. And Queer is an adaptation of the famous William S. Burroughs novel. That novel, or novella rather, short, came out in 1985, but I believe it was written and not finished by Burroughs in the 50s. And of course, it was released once he had become this big, kind of countercultural icon and significant, writing figure. This film premiered back at Venice earlier this year, and then is beginning a limited release from A24. I really struggled with Luca Guadagnino's Queer. It doesn't have much at all to do with the performances. I like Daniel Craig a lot as William Lee, the William S. Burroughs stand-in character, this wealthy American expat living in Mexico City during the 1950s. I just did not connect with the relationship between Craig's William Lee and Drew Starkey's Eugene Alberton, this recently discharged American Navy serviceman who catches the eye of Lee. The relationship and the obsession at its core from Lee's side, I just never fully wrapped my head around. I thought the relationship was incredibly cold the entire time. Drew Starkey's Eugene character is also so quiet and reserved. There's just not a lot of expression here. I just had a really hard time being invested in their journey. And because William Lee is such a mess between his own repressed loathing and his heroin addiction, his alcohol addiction, etc., he's not a fun character to be with, nor is he adept at being able to express himself. I just really struggled with spending time with these characters. The movie looks amazing, like it's gorgeous period setting. I love the stuff in Mexico City, but as the movie progresses and we go south into South America, I just really was so uninvested with the story. I thought the fantastical elements that pop up infrequently also don't work at all. I think the ending is just kind of flat, honestly. Yeah, I was really disappointed by this. Like, I really can't overstate it. Like, the William Lee character, like, sucks. I just couldn't stand it. I get a lot of it. I think the characterization makes a lot of sense. I think the Craig performance is good. This is Craig doing a more flamboyant performance similar to what he does as Benoit Blanc in the Knives Out movies. Watching him wear various guns on his hip, literally saying that he's not a effeminate gay man, and he looks down upon that. Like, he kind of understand his thoughts about himself, but also on the other hand, watching him just kind of be drunk all the time and like pursue various young men he finds, whether they're also gay or not. He's just not someone to really root for per se, because he just comes across as like a hot mess basically. And then the relationship with Eugene is so like unrequited. I just feel like there's no heat to it. I'm sure people disagree. I'm sure there are some people that like were super into this and like it's a bit more abstract, like pure presentation of longing and desire and obsession and things like that. I could understand that read on it, but that's just not how I felt. Drew Starkey, I had never seen him before. He blew up on Netflix as The Outer Banks. His like he's a handsome guy. He looks good in the tailored clothes he's wearing, but like the character is so quiet. He doesn't even have that many lines because William Lee speaks a mile a minute, talks all the time. So it's just like that disconnect for me. I just had a hard time with. I really like Jason Schwartzman in a supporting role. He's all bearded up, a bit portly, playing Joe, this friend of William Lee, who's also gay. He has some great comedy in the movie. Leslie Manville is unrecognizable in the back half of the film, kind of coming up out of nowhere. But I thought everything in I believe it was Ecuador, the Ecuadorian jungle, I just wasn't connected to it at all. Their desire to, Lee's obsession, desire to connect deeper via this plant drug that perhaps can teach telepathy, revealed to be ayahuasca. Yeah, I just like, I don't know, bro. Like, do you have anything else going on? Like, I don't know. I just once we got like halfway through and they're on their journey south, they're in Peru at one point, like, and like, I just didn't understand Eugene's side of things either. Like, why are you going along with this when you show seemingly no affection back, apart from the steamy sex scenes we do get from time to time? I just had a hard time understanding what was going on with the relationship. In small roles, you have Omar Apollo as a guy William Lee hooks up with. Cool to see him acting. Of course, he's a singer. David Lowery has like one scene. Of course, he's more famous as a film director. Shout out the Green Knight. But yeah, man, I think Luca, he's certainly someone who has, of course, covered this kind of subject matter before, whether it's a bigger splash or, of course, famously Call Me by Your Name. Like this type of storytelling, this type of subject matter, it's not out of the Luca purview by any means. But I mean, coming off Challengers, this was not what I was looking for to say the least. And I think it just doesn't really work in the end. At one point, people were talking about the Craig performance. Could it be Oscar nominated? I think given the competition for Best Actor, I just don't think this movie's going to be loved enough. I think the reception's more kind of like mixed positive, but it's not. They're not rave reviews by any means. So I would not expect Craig to get through. I think this movie was probably going to largely be blanked in award season. But hey, you take some swings. Luca had Bones and All, which worked, but didn't work amazingly. I think Queer's kind of in that boat, in that tier, in terms of his recent work. But yeah, let me know. Did you like Queer more than me? I'm sure there's tons of people out there that did. If so, please let me know what you like more about it. What am I wrong about? Let me know. And for more movie reviews, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.